Hey guys, and welcome to the Lazy Lemon Creations podcast. My name is Lindsay, and you can find me on Instagram as Lazy Lemon Creations, and you can find me on Ravelry as Lazy Lemon. This is my podcast all about the knitting and crocheting that I get up to on a regular basis and everything else going on in my life. I live in the heart of the New River Valley with my husband and our kids, who are all upstairs right now. It is Thursday, April 10th, 2025, and it has been a very long week. It has been a very long 6 weeks since I've talked to you, and we'll get into that later in life. So, first up, yes, I cut all my hair off. I needed a change before summer started, and so cutting it all off gave me the refresh that I needed. It's out of the way, and I really enjoy it. So I did cut my hair off. You're not seeing things. But let's jump into it. This has been a podcast in the making. First off, let's go over stats for March. I only finished 3 objects in March. One of them, I finished 3 objects in March, all of them being socks. And they're all felici socks too, so you'll get to see those as well. And then grams out was about 180 grams out. Grams in was a lot. It was a lot of grams in because I hit up the Joann sale, so oh well. All right, let's jump into it with the oldest FO that I have, and that is a pair of socks on the sock blocker here. Here we go. Got the pair right here. They do not match. They're off by a single stripe, so they don't match. But this is Friendly Skies. It's a Knit Picks Felici color. Orange, yellow, blues, blacks, and grays. The heels, toes, and cuffs are an undyed bare yarn from Nomad. I have quite a few of those around to use for heel, toes, and cuff for my Felici. And my sock recipe is the same all the time. I do it on Magic Loop, ChowGoo red lace needles. This is a 1.5, which is a 2.5 millimeter needle. And I do 64 stitches. I do a 20 row cuff of 2x2 rib. I do a 30 row leg. Do a slip stitch, heel flap, and gusset. I do my foot, and I do my toe. And that is my sock recipe for all of my socks. So everything that you see here is going to follow that exact same recipe. But these socks were, like I said, Knit Picks Felici in the Friendly Skies colorway. I had started those in February and finished them in March. I don't have the official dates on it just because I don't have that notebook in front of me. So the next pair that I have, exact same Knit Picks Felici, but this colorway is called Lassie. And I very much like this one. Very springy, very Eastery, light pastel colors. I very much enjoyed this. And actually, this pair, I got to match. Exactly. So that was really nice. If you can see in here, I don't remember which sock was first, but right after the blue, there's this cream color. Yeah, you see right there's that tiny little snippet of pink that's right here. Well, I knew that that's what color I started my socks with, and so I knew I wanted the second one to start with it. So I did, I want to say 4 extra rows in the sock in the actual white that I do my toes, and I got them to match. So I'm really enjoying this pair. I think they're really nice for Easter, nice and springy, and just giving you all the fun little Easter vibes. So the next pair of socks, pair number 3 that I have finished, is again Knit Picks Felici. This colorway is Sebastian. I think it's from The Little Mermaid, but I'm not sure. but I love these colors. These do not match exactly. I'm off by, I think, a color stripe, but I really enjoyed these. The two-tone blue, and then it's a red and orange, but I really, really liked this 4-stripe repeat in this sock. And again, same recipe of 64 stitches on magic loop for all of my socks. And the fourth and final pair that I have finished between the last podcast and now is these. They are called Ribbon Candy. They are also off by one color stripe. Every single time, man. Every single time. But yeah, these were really fun to make. It reminds me of the candy dish that like your grandparents would have at their house that would have all the different flavored candies in it. And you were always looking for the strawberry flavored one that you can never find in stores, but grandma always had them in the bottom of her purse. But yeah, this is Knit Picks Felici in Ribbon Candy. Sorry, that's the name of it. And those I finished today. Whew, okay. That's all I needed for the sock blockers. And that's all that I had for FOs, were those 4 pairs of socks. Lots of Felici. And there's more to come because I have a lot of it, so I'm still working on it. And next up, I have the cuff done already. This is my whip. The cuff done. I did this today while my son was at his oncology appointment. Again, 20 rows, 2x2 ribbing. And the next pair of socks that'll get cast on is Felici in the Good Guy colorway. So, that'll be the next thing that I start working on. I was doing a pair of socks every single week. I've got this, and then I also have Vampire Vibes as well up on the docket, but I have needed to take it a break. I know what week we are in the year, just because it's easy to count, but I am so far behind on the socks just because of how hectic life has gotten, and that's okay. So we are going to do our socks on our pace. It's not going to be a chore because then it takes the fun out of it, and I'm going to get to them when I get to them, and so be it. For reading and watching, I am reading The Hunger Games, A Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. This is the 4th Hunger Games book. The 5th one is also out, and I own it, but I have not read it yet because I want to finish this one first. This is President Snow's story in the book, and so far, it took me a while to get into it just because you have the mental image in your mind of what you think President Snow is just from the Hunger Games. So to hear his side of it from the beginning, I had to get out of my head and stop thinking of him as the President Snow that's in the Hunger Games and think of him as a whole new character. So yeah, I'm enjoying it. And then for watching, nothing. I have not been watching anything. I am so behind on podcasts and TV shows because life got very busy for us. So in March, my husband lost his sister, and it was devastating to the entire family. And in that process, we also gained her daughter. So we now have a baby in the house who is 6 months old, and she is a delight to have, and we absolutely adore her. But it's a start over process, and that's been hard. It's been so fulfilling. But boy, I like my sleep. No, it's just been a bit to juggle because with Emrys and his leukemia, we're still going to our weekly doctor visits. Today we had one. We've actually had 3 visits this week alone just for Emrys. Next week we have 2 visits, one for Emrys and then one for all 3 kids. So it's a lot to get thrust into, but that didn't sound right. It is a lot to have placed on my shoulders, but God has bigger plans for all of us, and whatever they may be. I am a faithful servant of His, so we shall see where that leads me. And thank goodness for anxiety meds too. So between the power of faith and anxiety meds, I'm doing great. But yeah, this was going to be a short and sweet episode just to catch up with you guys and let you know that I am still here. I'm just now really busy, and I'm still working away on some socks and all my projects. And hopefully, I think I say this every episode, hopefully I can get back into posting more regularly, but we shall see. Anything that I talk about today will be linked down below. Any shops or anything like that you can get something. Also, our Ko-Fi account, our GoFundMe account, all of that will be included in the description below, but no obligation whatsoever by anybody ever. We just like to include it. And then I hope to see you guys in about 2 weeks. So until then, have a good night. Bye.